waiting for him to be his right to remain silent, etc. Before we've asked that he should be brought from, Kumasi. His lawyers asked that he should be brought on Tuesday, but I'm insisting that he should be here on Monday. If he doesn't come on Monday, I'm going to order for his arrest so that he'll be brought to Accra. His rights will be read to him, and then we can start the prosecution. We have also put in place certain measures to ensure that the prosecution goes faster than normal. We have approached the Chief Justice, who has agreed to assign specialized courts for the prosecution of illegal mining cases. And I have laid before Cabinet on Tuesday. Cabinet will meet and approve the Public Tribunals Bill, which will go to Parliament on a certificate of agency. And if by December the tribunals are in place, most of the circuit tribunals to deal with mining cases, and we will appoint the chairman and panel members of the tribunals, give them timelines beyond which they should not carry a case. So, for instance, we will insist that every mining case should end within 6 months. If there are reasons for you to appeal, that is fine, but the tribunal must deliver its verdict within 6 months. Currently, we don't have those statutory timelines in CI 47, that is the High Court Civil Procedure Rules. So I want Parliament to help me to put those timelines in the Tribunals Bill so that the terms of the legal steps, and as I said, law enforcement, regulatory reform is at the heart of what we are doing, and we will not spare any person, in terms of the accountability for their destruction of the environment. Thank you very much.
Very much. Honorable Dominic Akuritinga Ayini, Attorney General and Minister for Justice. Now, we have seen very disturbing photos and videos of our pristine water bodies turning murky and filled with toxic material. But the last few months, there have been significant gains in reversing the trend. So Dr. Mawuli Lumo, who is with the Water Resources Commission, is up next. He will take us through the gains made. He has some slides to share. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. These are the current levels of turbidity that we have measured. Turbidity is simply how, so if you point a light to a water body, it will measure it, and that gives you the level of turbidity. So if you look at the rivers average, it came down to 14, and that was an 89% improvement. At Barakese, it was 22 in 2024, and then 11. That's about a 50%. On the Adominasi, on the River Cobra, where NIMOS has operated extensively, it was 2,870. It has come down to 1,927. On the Densu River at Manguase, when we monitored it, the average for 2024 was 129. It has come down to 34 for 2025. That's about 73% improvement. And then the ton or so,
like what NIMOS has done to Ancobra, we've seen some very, very important in driving these numbers. And it has about the alternative livelihood. One area that was completely missed throughout all this process was the import. The import of excavators. And ladies and gentlemen, you'll be surprised to know for a whole 8 years, no excavator that was imported in Ghana went through registration with the DVLA. 1,200 excavators, and there was no space at the Tema port. So we had to have a meeting to decide between the Minister of Transport, Finance, and my ministry, what we can do to decongest. We were lucky to get the military to give us a place, and that is where most of those excavators were lifted. And what happened? You couldn't move these excavators and add on to the traffic. So it was decided that we should move them when the traffic were gone. And so that is really the story of those movement of excavators. I can tell you now that as we speak, that we have DVLA office stationed at Temaport working closely with the Minerals Commission. What are they doing? Every excavator, before you even import it, the new inspection regime, the new review is that you have to be approved to import excavator. Thanks to the collaboration with the Minister of Transport, the Minister of Finance, myself, we collectively have to approve it. If you say you are coming to import excavator for mining, the Minerals Commission will bring me a letter and then will be approved. If you say you want to do quarry or you are in construction, the appropriate ministry will give us. That's when the Minister of Transport can now authorize the import. We still have thousands of excavators sitting there. A lot of everybody now waiting. I don't know why they are delaying, but those who have imported it are supposed to bring their legal licenses to claim it. And it's very clear, we created a process. If indeed you are bringing it for construction, a legitimate company or a quarry business, you have a contract, you are doing it, we'll readily release those excavators for that work. But oftentimes those that are questionable are still there. We are deciding on a timeline within a period where we don't find the owners, we will confiscate all that to the state. But that regime is very important. What we are doing, what Minerals Commission is also doing is that not only registering the excavators at the DVLA, we are also tracking them. And if you look at some of the numbers we have so far, we have basically registered, DVLA has registered 1,181, and we have tracked 724 of them, which means that if you tell me you are taking those excavators to Takwa, we'll track it and make sure that when you go anywhere and it's not Takwa, you have a problem. We have a control room that is monitoring all these excavators in the system. And then with geofences as well. You say you are going to mine in Takwa, we know the perimeter of that mining area. You have to send it and operate within that perimeter. Anytime it goes outside the geofence area, that excavator will be disabled. And so those systems will be tightened as we go forward. And ultimately the plan is to make sure every excavator in this country is tracked and geofenced. Yes, I'm winding up. Well, I can't wind it up. There are two important things. I think I talk about degraded land. What are we doing about it? What are we doing about degraded land? I first talk about the water bodies. As you know, we launched what we call the Tree for Life initiative. His Excellency launched this in Kumasi last March. And the policy is to make sure we plant this year alone 60 million seedlings between the Ministry of Environment and the Ministry of Lands. I'm very happy that program has started and we are moving full steam ahead on that. We've also, as part of the initiative, focusing on dechemicalizing the water bodies and making sure we protect these water bodies. Often I hear, what are the blue water guys doing? In fact, this morning I checked my social media. I said, a guy sent me and said, oh, one of my blue water guy female has been impregnated by a man. I said, I said, well, but the truth is that this blue water girls, it's funny, I read it on social media. Well, these blue water guards are not only educating those communities in the riverine area, they are acting as intelligent officers.